Okay. All right. What and how? There we go. Just a couple of. Hi Ritu, how are you? What's up? Nice to see you. Just gonna wait for Nitya to join in. It's her first time on Insta Live, so I think she's struggling a little bit. Yeah, good to see you too. How's the COVID treating you? I'm sure your clinic must have resumed. Is it? Who else is here with us? Diya. Hi Diya. Did you manage to get Nitya to join the chat? I think she's struggling a little bit. Oh, only once a week. Well, maybe I should make a trek and visit you, because I've been struggling with my back. Chatur Creator. We're just waiting for Nitya. As soon as she's online, we can begin the chat. Thanks, Ritu. I'm still struggling with that back pain. Diya, did we manage to get Nitya on the chat? We still have a few minutes though. Just gonna wait and see what's the issue. Ritu Modi, Chitra. No. Hi Ritu Modi. Hey Chitra. Nice to see you guys here. We are just gonna wait a couple of minutes. Hi Richa. We're just gonna wait a couple of minutes until Nitya can join the chat. Guys, if you have any questions in the meantime, please note them and keep. And you can ask them at the end. We'll take the questions in the end. It's a very interesting subject that we have today. It's about making your wills and who should make your will and how and what and who your beneficiaries and your heirs should be. How do you execute? Hi Nitya. I was just giving a lowdown on the chat subject today to everyone. You need to send me a request to be in my live video, and then I can add you on. Hi Kinar, hi Ashna, nice to see all you guys here. I'm really excited for this chat today. It's a very offbeat subject. We've got a lot of feedback from people. They're very excited. They're all saying that it's a very interesting subject that you're doing, and we've been looking for something like this. Hi Vishaka. Conditions in sign. What conditions? What are we talking about? Nitya, can you please send me a request to join the chat? Are you able to do that? Hey Nirali. Nice to see so many people here this evening. Please save your questions for the end. We'll attend to it in the end. And also guys, please write to us with your feedback and what kind of subjects you want us to bring, whether you've enjoyed the chats, not enjoyed the chats. Help us improve. Hi Trupti RMK. Hey, nice to see you guys here. Let's see what this is. One moment. Sujit, hey, what's up guys? Okay. Nitya seems to be having some issues on her chat. and she is just gonna switch to her phone, so we'll be a couple of minutes more. Hello, Bubbly Mamji, how are you? So we're just going to wait for... Hi Harshanti, how are you? Good to see you. She's trying to join from her phone. Okay, so we're just going to wait a couple of minutes. Sorry for the delay. Nitya's having some connectivity issues. Hi Richa, what's up? Very excited for today's subject, by the way. I think we all need to go and make our wills really soon. Hi Neha. Guys, please definitely give us your feedback after all our chats. It would be really nice if you do that. It'll help us stay motivated, and it'll also give us an idea of what you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying. So that would be great if you can do that. Neha Khanna, hey, what's up? Nice to see you guys. There she is. One moment. Waiting for Nitya to join. Thank you, Neha. I had to really pester this girl to be here. Love the previous two sessions on Name Your and Numerology.
Hi. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm I'm an Instagram novice.
Yes. So for all our viewers, it's Nitya's first time on Instagram. Let aside a live video and let aside being on the live video as a speaker. The huge feather in my cap that I managed to get this girl to do this. And
for sure, Achal, thank you.
So Nitya, I'm going to first introduce you. Guys, Nitya is a solicitor, advocate, and a partner at Divya Shah Associates. I've known her for many years. She's also a dear friend of mine. I've known her in her legal capacity. I've known her through all the charity work that we've done through our Rotary clubs. I've known her as a friend, and I've had to really coax her into doing this chat today. But I'm so glad that she's finally here. She is one powerhouse of information. So let's see how much we can get out of her. Nitya,
I really hope. Yeah. I really hope it'll be very helpful for everyone here. These are just some tips that I want. Basically, if you came into my office for a consultation, I would ask you these questions the first time we met. So I'm hoping that I'm getting you started on a path here. And I mean, don't take it as legal advice. I'm going to make my disclaimers right now. Every case is different. The facts are different.
A lot of information for free here, by the way, which is really expensive legal advice at Divya Shah Associates.
That is kind of true.
So please.
In these COVID times, that's the least that anybody should do. Some amount of.
That's true. Help. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Let's begin with, first of all, who really should be the people making wills, when and at what stage we should be making a will. So first of all, who are the candidates for making a will?
So everybody who is an adult can make a will, but I'll tell you what, in my personal opinion, in the minute you buy an asset, a real estate property, you should be making your will, because it doesn't matter how old you are. We fly around a lot. It's not even about COVID, okay? I'm not even going into that, because right now the anxiety is with COVID. A lot of people are getting worried about their health, but I'm not even tapping into that. What I'm saying is, we fly around so much. Even as young adults, we do dangerous things. Anything can happen to anyone, and these kind of things, if they are planned, it helps. So if you have an asset, a real estate asset, I think that's the time. When you acquire your first asset is when you should make your will. And I think most of us by this age have crossed that milestone.
So is this only for real estate assets, or does it even if you have cash reserves, or even if you have, like, say, jewelry as women, does that also qualify, or it's not necessary to?
It qualifies, of course. It's your property. You should want to have an idea what you want to do with it. But I specified real estate because I find a lot of people come to me even in their 50s and they say, oh, I don't want to make a will just yet. I've come here for my mother, or I've come here for my parents. Their parents are well into their 80s at that point,
Right.
I have a favorite saying. It says, failing to plan is planning to fail.
Man is man, right? Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I always tell people that your mom is 80, but you're 52. I mean, it's not like you're going younger by the day. And then the next generation has to deal with a lot of litigation and crap if you don't
Correct.
deal with your will properly.
Correct. No, this, of course, I think more than anything at this time, we've learned that life is extremely uncertain, and anything can happen to anyone at any point. And that, so yeah, that's the whole purpose of this chat. So let's get to it. So now, first, I think let's start with basics. I know everyone, but just give a lowdown on what a will is really about. What is a will?
So
So
you want to cover your movable and immovable assets. So movable would be things like your mutual funds, your shares, your jewelry for women. There is a lot of emotional attachment to jewelry. I'm aware of that.
right,
Um, cars and stuff. I haven't really seen people with their cars before, but you don't know. I mean, if you own those, if that is the number you're dealing with, people do include things like that.
right,
It's mostly for taking care of your shares in real estate property, whether you own an entire flat or a plot, whether it's in Bombay or anywhere else in India, as
yeah,
well as if you co-own properties, if you've inherited properties and you co-own them with your siblings, etc. Even that needs to be
yeah.
covered under your will. And
Okay.
sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So
And so tell me, what's the role of an executor in making a will? Who is an executor? And, I mean, what's
you
that all?
require, so actually you don't, there is no set law on how you should do this, but what I feel is you should have a minimum of two executors, 2 or 3
Okay.
people.
Okay,
An
what's an executor?
executor's role, yeah, an executor's role is actually to get a probate of your will. So after you pass away, the person will take it to court and
Okay.
apply in the set format, and it takes about 6 months or so, 4 to 6 months, if it's not litigated, if it is not
Okay.
challenged by anyone. Then you get a
Okay.
probate from the High Court, and that
Okay.
job is of the executor. Till then, the executor manages your estate. Before he gets the probate, he has to take care of the properties, collect
Property
the
tax.
rents, and pay bills and whatever from your own money, and
From
the
your
safety from your own money, from your
person.
assets,
Yeah.
meaning
Okay.
not from the executor's money, from the estate's money, from the deceased person's money. Yeah. So what happens with that is he's basically in charge of the main and most important duty in my mind is to go and get that probate
Right.
and to sort it out and to make the distribution among all the heirs.
Right. So what usually happens is this probate. So you're saying it's a 6-month process. So does this, is it a simple process, or is there an issue with these probate
So it is fairly
court?
simple. It's fairly simple to apply for a probate. There is a set format. There is a testamentary department of the Bombay High Court. Um, what is difficult is not that bit. It is that all your heirs are going to get served with,
Yeah.
they have to provide consents
Okay.
for allowing that will to go through.
Okay.
And if there is anybody challenging the will at that point, they will file a caveat within a
Okay.
period of 14 days from that service. And
Okay.
then that converts itself into a litigation, into a suit at the Bombay
Okay.
High Court. And that is very expensive. That is a
Okay.
sorry state of affairs, and it keeps on happening. And that is something you don't want for your kids, You don't
Okay.
want them fighting like that. So you provide in the best way you can, either through a gift deed while you're alive or through your will. But today we'll only cover the will. Today the topic we'll cover the will, and then we'll see when next we get an opportunity for more.
So when you say somebody filing for a caveat, can this be anyone? Like, even if I'm not in your will, can I
No.
still file?
No. Yeah, so if you're not in my will, but you're in my first degree of heirs, so Hindu people have, I'll go with the Hindu marriage, Hindu law and succession. They
Okay.
have their mother,
Yeah.
they have their wife and their children as
Yeah.
part of the first degree of heirs. Now,
Okay.
a lot of people don't know that your mom is part of your first degree of heirs.
Okay.
So they always think that even if I didn't make a will, my property would still go to my wife and children in equal pure.
Right.
That's not how it is. Your mom also gets a share, then she has to release it. Or maybe that's what your intent is. You want to provide her that 1/3, 1/4, depending on how many kids you have. And but sometimes it becomes a tricky situation, Achal. So you have to put thought into it. I don't know what everybody's relationships are within the family, and a lot of planning goes into this case-wise. It depends on how old your parents are. Anyway, we go back to the question of executor, since we were
Yeah.
talking
Just
about executors.
one question though. You said that your mom is in line of your. What about your father and what
No,
about your
your
siblings?
father's second degree. Your father's
No.
second degree. Your brother and sister are not. No.
Okay. Now go back to your
So the
question of
executor, I always tell people, I would like for your executors to be younger people because they should not, they should outlive you. The purpose
right.
of your executor is to go and get that damn probate. So that person
Correct.
needs to outlive you. Be willing to run around and do it. Don't pick the wisest, smartest person in your family who's old and mature, who has 100 businesses and the richest man. Don't do that because that guy is not going to get out of his house and go and get you that probate. You need to bring people that you trust, your family members, your brothers, your whoever, your husband. A beneficiary under the will is going to go and get the probate, so that you can do that.
What do you mean beneficiary?
Sorry.
Anyone who's liable to receive from the will, is that what
right? A beneficiary. So if
but they shouldn't overlap, right? Your executor and your beneficiaries.
They can overlap. Your witness and your executor cannot overlap.
Okay, but is it advisable for your beneficiaries to overlap as your executor?
Absolutely, because those are the ones who are most motivated to go and get the probate.
Correct. And so you mentioned witnesses. Oh, so who is a witness and what is their role in this process?
You need two witnesses. It's the law in India that the witness needs to watch you sign the will, but he doesn't need to know the contents of your will. He basically, anybody who is willing to come to court at the time that we file the probate petition and is going to put down an affidavit and say, yes, I saw Nithya signing her will.
Right.
And preferably, just to make things very easy for us, what I always do is I have all three people sitting in one room, the two witnesses and the testator, the person who is signing their will. And I take a picture or I take a video.
Right.
That takes away half of the issue of, whether it was a valid will, authenticity, whether he signed it himself, whether he was in the right state of mind.
Right. But then what happens if, I know that in the olden days, people used to make their wills every morning.
You can actually. It's still allowed. You can wake up every day. You can wake up every morning. You can make a new will. You can remove people from a will. You can add people to your new will. Actually, that's what creates all the confusion.
Right.
But what I do is, if people are older and very sure of what they want to write in their will, at a certain age, for precautionary purposes, I ask them to register that will.
Okay.
Registration is not compulsory, but I ask them to register it just so that 2-3 things are out of our way when we have an issue in the family and if there's a litigation. One is it's registered, so it's the testator has signed it himself. He was in the right state of mind. The validity of the will becomes lesser and lesser into question as far as the law is concerned.
Yeah.
About these people, about the sorry, I lost the link of what I was saying.
We were talking about this and so my question to you is someone's made a will, right? And then after a month, a couple of years, they decide they want to change this will. Now, what if I have an old copy of that will and I'm a beneficiary in the old will but not in the new will? Can I conflict with the new will?
Yes. Yes, you would, and that is what all litigation is about. That your name is in the old will and not in the new will. So you will go, when that person passes away, you will go and file your will for probate. I will go and file my will for probate. So that is where the litigation begins, the big, long, drawn-out battle of 20 years, because it will go from Bombay High Court to appeal to Supreme Court. But in order to avoid that, what I do is I register these wills. Okay.
Right.
So the registration date will show that the man changed his mind or the woman changed her mind, and this is the last will that she left behind.
No, but what is how do you prove that this is the old will, this is the new will?
Because the registration date shows the last will, last will in time. The registration, you go to the registrar's office.
This is assuming you've registered your will.
Yes. So if you do not register your will, you're open to more of this controversy. So if you think somebody in your family is going to create this kind of situation, I recommend wholeheartedly to go and register your will. I also say that if you're an older person, anything above the age of 50, okay, get a doctor's certificate and attach that with your will.
Okay.
That doctor's certificate should state that you're in the right. Sorry.
How does that help and how does that matter?
So the doctor's certificate should state you are in the right state of mind
Okay.
that you have the mental capacity, let's put it that way, that you have the mental capacity to go ahead and make a will, not just a will, but anything, that you are in the correct state of mind physically or mentally or whichever way you want to put that, you know. Because if you're in the hospital, a lot of people do call me for their parents and they say, you know, my mom is in the hospital, this is what she's going through, can we make a will? I'm like, let her come out of hospital. If you make a will in the hospital when she's drugged out,
Yeah.
people are going to point fingers, raise questions.
Yeah. So, I've also seen situations especially in our Indian environment. Uh, it's a very, I've made a will. Um, I've registered it, whatever. I'm unwell. I'm in hospital for whatever reason. I feel like I may be nearing my. I change my will while I'm in hospital, and maybe it's either verbal or it's handwritten at that point, or you just suddenly say you want to give something to somebody.
You
How
can't
do you
do that because it's only army people are allowed to do those verbal wills. People in hospital just cannot, regular people cannot make verbal wills like that and verbal gift deeds and all. Everything requires some amount of procedure. And if you
Okay.
don't follow that, then I can't take your verbal will and go and get a probate.
Right.
So
And okay,
only
even if verbal will, if I'm on my deathbed and I'm writing a will which is different from what I've already registered, then what will this take up?
by all means do it, but you need two witnesses in the room. You should be
Okay.
able to write it. You should know what you're writing. I should have some confidence that Baba, this person has written it himself or actually said it. There should be a video to support it. It becomes very
Right.
tricky if somebody challenges this kind of will, which is why I say please do it very much earlier in your life. Do it
It
now.
would be
Do it when you're
fine.
younger.
Yeah, I'm just saying in case people change their mind and people want to suddenly add people in the last minute in the throes of
Then
emotion.
Achal, if I was on the other side as a lawyer, I would say, they were not in their right state of mind. They were in hospital. God knows
Right.
what drugs they were on.
Right. So all that is arguable, huh? So what I'm also trying to drive at is I think the importance of making the will at the right time and not getting swayed by emotions. When you're in a situation where you can't do anything about it. So I think that's basically what we are trying to get to at this point of this thing. Okay, I'm going to leave a quick message with the viewers, though. Please hold your questions till the end of this chat. We will attend to all your questions, but let us finish what we want to tell you, and then please feel free to ask whatever you want to. Okay, now what is the correct method to execute a will?
As I said, the witnesses should be in the room.
Okay.
And after you have drafted your will, after you put down the names of your executors, after you put down all your provisions for movable, immovable, and who it should go to, I also want to add right now that you should add a provision for residuary beneficiary. Residuary means sometimes you've forgotten where some of your properties are. It happens to a lot of people, Achal. You'll be very surprised they forget some land in native place and somewhere out of the blue. And then if you have a residuary beneficiary and you say, okay, everything that is not covered in this will or that you may buy in the future, because you make the will today but then you may buy more property tomorrow, everything is covered under the residuary clause. And you say it will go to so and so, or it will go to two people in equal halves, or however you want to write that down. So you usually covered the whole ambit of everything. And then when you have all that written down, you call in those two witnesses or you go wherever they are, and in one room 3 of you sit and sign off on that will.
Okay.
And then you may go ahead with the process of registration. That is up to you. It's not required.
And anybody on the face of the earth can get something from me from my will, right? It doesn't have to be a blood relative. There doesn't have to be an age. Is there an age cap on who can receive anything?
No, there is no age gap. So for your kids and stuff like that, for your pets, even for your pets,
Oh, really?
you can create a trust. Yeah, you can create a trust. You can have your executors pay for certain things for them,
Right.
their
But
health care and
a minor can inherit anything from you?
absolutely. So
And sorry, go ahead.
oh, this is a very big topic, Achal. Actually, I don't know if this talk today is going to do justice. It's like
Okay,
a
so
question of.
Very simply put, if there's a minor in your will, and you've done with the probate process of that 6 months.
No. Oh, sorry. You're talking about the person is dead. Okay.
Yeah. Can a minor do it, or then does it go in some trust fund because you're a minor or something?
No, I always plan it, structure it that way, because minors cannot do anything, cannot sign off on their own on any contracts or anything at all. So what you do is when you're drafting your will, you make a private trust under the will. You appoint trustees for that private trust. You write down an age limit until when your minor will turn, suppose age 18 or 25 or whenever. At 18, they are allowed to inherit everything, sign everything, right?
Okay.
But what happens is that at 18, I don't think anybody has the financial capability to make good decisions for themselves.
Right.
I usually tell the parents to keep it at least until 25 with the trust.
Okay.
And when your kid turns 25, the trustees, until then, the trustees are supposed to pay for their care, their medical expenses, their education, maybe education abroad, whatever is required. The executors may have to take calls on it, help them out, liquidate assets such as, maybe mutual funds or anything that are in your estate to pay for their education, marriage expenses. I don't know, whatever maybe get covered during their age. But it's after that I would recommend that the trust should be dissolved on their 25th birthday and everything be handed over in their care.
And what if all the funds have been depleted by then? Is that possible?
That can happen, Achal. That is why you have to be very careful of who you're appointing as your trustees and your executors. You should know they have to be that degree of relation to you.
But the minors do have access to the entire funds, even if they are not able to, even if they're under the care of the trustees, they still have access to all the funds.
Only way. That is the only way, because they can't sign for themselves at bank accounts. Minor cannot sign for himself. What is he going to do?
But they can access unlimited funds.
Sorry?
They can access as much as they want to. There's no cap on how much they can draw.
So it's not like your 8-year-old is going to tell his uncle who is the executor कि भाई जाके 2 lakh लेके आओ. So pretty much you have left your kids under the care of someone. So you should have that one couple or some relatives who you trust as much that they would take care of your kids like you do.
Yeah.
And see, what actually doesn't usually happen that both spouses die together. So if I was gone and my husband was there and my husband's an executor, we're all taken care of. We're still okay. It's when both parents are gone that you need to worry about things like, who's going to really manage the kids and their expenses.
You also generally put that down in your will, that who's going to look after my children, and like what happens when the kids are minors.
So that is why I say we create a private trust under the will. And that trust does not require registration because it is trust formed under will.
Yeah.
And though some people will go the extra length and they will form a trust, they can do that. And the executors put all the estate, they get the probate, they put all the estate under the care of that. Then they take joint decisions. If one of the executors passes away at that time, during that length of time, before your kid becomes 25 or whatever, I even make provision for that, let the executor appoint some other person that he trusts.
Correct.
I always say leave everything a little bit organic, natural and flowing, so that the person who's taking care of your kids is able to make good decisions. So don't say that you're not able to sell my house, you cannot mortgage it. Don't do that. Say if the need arises, let them have those powers so that they can really take care of the expenses.
Okay, what happens in the case of, say, for example, if I am to make a will today and I pledge that it goes to an X amount, somebody.
Couldn't hear that, sorry. X amount goes to somebody?
No, so say today, anyone who's in the range of, say, a 50-year-old decides to make a will and says that all my property, my jewelry, etc., goes to my children. Now, in the inherit period, this 50-year-old may be alive, may not be alive, but their parents, he's inherited from his parents. But that also becomes his wealth and his property. So do you have to account for that in the will?
Yes, which is why the residuary helps me. That is why the residuary helps me. Because anything that may come to you, suppose, you have a property litigation going on and it comes to you after you've made your will, whatever is in your kitty on the day of your death, everything gets covered.
Everything gets covered. Okay. And what happens about, you mentioned pets at some point. So what is the deal with pets when you have?
Yeah, I know. Some people are so attached to their pets. They really do want to form a small trust fund for them. And they're pretty much their kids, they may not have kids of their own and they may just have that one pet that they've lived with, and they want to provide and say, so and so I will pay so much per month to take care of my pet, and for his grooming expenses and his food and where he'll live. And people do make I've actually even done I had a client who's actually fought over custody of a pet, so you can imagine.
Oh, really?
In a divorce. So this has become so it's become that kind of thing now where people are providing for their pets. I think it's really kind of cute. You should provide for your pets and you should provide, they are your kids.
They are your kids. They are your kids. Yes, of course, people are very attached. So because you mentioned this example, I just want to ask you, give us some fun stories of some. You don't have to name people, but like weird stories, experiences that you may have had, while handling people's wills. We'll maybe talk about divorces and gift deeds on another day, because I'm sure that's a fun subject as well.
I'm not
But
going to say anything, Achal, because they must be all watching. And the minute I say something, they'll say, yes, she spoke
no, I
about
mean,
me. What happened with the confidentiality?
I was like, let's get some. It's also it's just interesting to know, but when stuff happens, so to be careful when you're conducting your own affairs. So I'm just saying from that perspective, and it's like a little juicy tidbit I thought I'd get out of you. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot. I don't know if I'm missing out on anything in my restricted knowledge of what is involved in a will. I seem to have asked everything that's on my mind. If you have anything more to share, then please go ahead. Otherwise, then I'm also in the meanwhile going to tell all our viewers, then they can punch in questions. Now would be a good time. And we've got a lot of viewers. So thank you very much, you guys, for taking time out and being here. But please feel free to get free answers from Divya Shah Associates at this point.
Why not? Why not?
Are we missing out on anything though, Nitya? Are we missing out on anything?
I think it's a big topic, but let me think about what we've covered. So we've covered we should be making wills when we purchase our first asset. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what age you are at, because we're
Yeah.
always traveling and we're always out. And COVID, of course,
Yeah.
being one of the reasons why we should. Um, we've
Sorry,
covered, yeah.
question. What happens when people want to leave things back, stuff back for charity? Like how does that work?
You can
You
always
create a
just bequeath it. You bequeath it under your will and say, give X amount, liquidate this property or liquidate my mutual funds and give that amount to charity, whatever fund you want to give it to. So your executors get the probate and then they transfer that money to the charity.
okay, and generally
You know
your
what is
family.
more interesting? Sorry. You know what we
Huh,
didn't cover? We didn't cover
what?
jewelry. We didn't cover
Oh, yeah,
jewelry.
cover jewelry. Sorry, what happens?
That's
I'm
a
going
lot
to
of fun. I'll tell you what happens with that.
I'm going to take this question. If you don't probate it and if it's a conflict, the will won't be applied. I guess. Why would you
Yes.
not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for so for a conflict, what happens is it turns into a suit, full-blown suit. So it will work at some point, but you need to pay for the litigation for a number of years before you can prove that yes, your will was the correct one and it should be applied.
Yeah. And
But
I
for
think
Muslim and Christian people, they don't even need a probate of the will, so they can skip that step. It's only Hindu people that includes Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs
okay.
also.
Thing to do with the Shariat law and I
Yes,
mean why? Why?
yeah, their laws are different. No, because this is in India, we don't follow all the same succession laws. So
Yeah.
Parsi
There's
people
another
have their own.
like interesting. Sorry, even for women, their mothers are in the first line of succession.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll tell you about jewelry. What is interesting about
Jewelry.
it is a lot of women who come to me, HNIs, they want to know, how to sort this because sometimes it's. I hope no IT people are hearing my little speech, but
I
sometimes
wanted to
it's.
ask you a question. I wanted to ask you this question, and I was like, I don't know if it's all right, but yes, let's get to it then.
So,
Let's get to it.
sometimes it's declared, sometimes it's not. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've inherited it.
Yes. Yes.
So
What happened?
what you do, yeah, what you do is make you take photographs, okay, of your
Okay.
jewelry, your set or your
Okay.
piece, and what I like to do is I like to make a table,
Okay.
write on it, take a photograph, a small, that size photograph, write on it who you want to give it to, and if everything is good and clean, then we put it as an extra in the will. Or at least what you can do is make potlies out of it. Take multiple printouts of that list that you made for everybody, and put that list in every locker that you have. A lot of women have different lockers in different banks. So what I do is I tell them just put this.
Sorry, I lost you for
Just put this.
huh.
Yeah, so sorry. Just put that printout in every locker,
Yeah.
and then whoever accesses that locker, your executors or your heirs, when they access that locker, they will see that printout and go about it the same way as you have planned.
But any kind of cash and jewelry that is not declared in your files,
That you
can
still
that?
make that list and put it in the locker, no?
But can that be added in a legal will?
Now you're asking me funny questions, Achal. I mean,
Yeah,
it's up to
technically
you,
it's
and
not
then
dead.
you answer the IT guys.
Yeah, no, but I mean, now
No, I would say
I'm
don't.
hoping.
I would say don't, because you know what? A lot of our jewelry that comes from grandmothers, etc., nobody's going to have that declared. How are you going to have that? So what
Yeah.
you do with that is just put it down in the locker with a list and saying exactly when you want to hand it over to them. I had a client who was very cute. She said, you know, this pearl set will go to so and so on the day she gets married. This will go to
Right.
my future. You're my granddaughter-in-law. You know,
Right.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
also some difficult questions, like I would ask that, you know, there are very unpleasant questions, Achal, in the making of a will.
Right.
People don't usually consider, but I'm putting it out on the talk so people can think about
Sure.
it. You
Sure.
may say that, okay, I'm going to give everything to, I have one son, so I want to give everything to my child, my husband and my child. I may say that. But there
Yeah.
is an unpleasant question of what happens if my child does not survive or predeceases me.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
alive, and suppose your child is not.
Yeah.
And then you want to provide that, okay, then it goes in that case to his heirs if he has a wife and child at that time, or you want to provide, then it goes to X or Y. But you have to write that down. You can't just leave it
Right.
I am going to give it to Achal and stop there.
Right. Right. Right.
Next,
Right. And
the next degree of who else it would go to if they predeceased you should be
yeah.
provided. Because otherwise, what happens in that case, if I don't provide for it now, it may so happen the situation may arise and I have forgotten about this, and the person passes away. I don't change my will.
Yeah.
Now where does it go? Now it goes straight to
Right.
the residuary beneficiary.
Correct. 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 And then there's no contesting that because that's the legal way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then nobody remembers to keep changing these things. I think you should think about these points, and you should be prepared to address these points when you're making your will.
Yeah. But a bit informally with lawyers, you know, for jewelry that's undeclared, can we have an understanding with our lawyers as witnesses, saying that, you know, this is what we want
No
to give
lawyer is going to be a witness. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because then who's going to fight your case if need be?
That's true. That's true. Understood. Understood. Okay.
You want to take up the questions, Achal?
Questions. Yes, that's what I was saying. Time for questions. Guys, any questions? We'll give you like a couple of minutes. Otherwise, then we are ready to wind this session. Any questions from any of our viewers? Please give us feedback. Because you are not getting anything from me. I have nothing to give. At the end of this COVID, I'm not going to have anything to give to anybody. Anything left for myself also.
Achal, you have the studio, don't lie.
At the end of the COVID, I may not have it if this is going to go on. So mean. But I have a question for you, Vikas. When are you coming on my chat?
Guy,
And
oh, sorry.
Cash and jewelry. Hi, I have no jewelry.
No, Gayatri asked a question. Who will be the default beneficiary if you don't leave a will? It's
and
a good
also,
question.
Okay.
I'll just take that question up quickly.
That's your first line of...
That will be your first degree of heirs. So under Hindu law, that will be mom, spouse, and children in equal proportions.
Equal proportions, okay. And if the will is made and registered, then, and if you want to change, then you can...
You preferably register it. You don't need to register it, but again, the question of which was the correct will in the first will and whether you were in the right state of mind when you made the second one.
Correct.
So I would prefer that you register the second one as well. So once you start registering, I prefer that you register all subsequent wills.
Okay, yeah, we covered that part. We have a kacha
Somebody
will.
asked if they can make a will without a lawyer. Of course you can, which is why I'm giving this talk.
Yeah, and also, if we have a kacha will, is that okay? So I think, Harsha Aunty, the whole point of having this chat is also to try to create the awareness that it's important that you make a nice, proper, formal will and register it so that there is no confusion, debate, argument, and fights.
Sorry, if you think your family members are not going to debate your will, you don't register it. I'm not saying you have to, but you have to take a call on that based on your circumstances and your facts.
Yeah. Okay. So I have the question. Can we see that again? Yeah. Suchi Aunty, you're most welcome. I'm so happy you've enjoyed it and you're here. Can we make a will without a lawyer? Without a lawyer probate, is that okay? That we've taken up?
No. Yeah.
My husband or my sister-in-law, my will. Huh? What is this? Sorry. Since I do not want to go to my husband, can my sister-in-law make my will for free? What does this mean?
Is that Neha?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my sister-in-law.
Can I go to my friend and free? I think in 30 minutes she managed to cover most of the relevant points. Thank you, PM. Harsha auntie, you're most welcome. Okay, I think we are sorted with questions. No, where does one normally keep the will, and who should have a copy?
That's a great question. Yeah. So a will, the original, should ideally be kept in a locker somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. If it's registered, um, it's much easier, of course, because it's registered. So then there is, you can always get a second copy there. But the original should be in a locker, and I would even go the extra step of saying fire safety box and all of that.
That's okay.
Because it does cover your entire estate.
Okay.
And preferably give copies to your beneficiaries of the last will.
Okay. Okay.
And please don't make the mistake of making 2 original wills, please. When you do that and then you cancel one, and then that other person thinks that's the last one, all of that keeps going on. So just make one original, keep it with yourself somewhere, let everybody know it's there, so your executors can go and fetch it from there.
So you can cancel a previous.
You can cancel it. Yes.
Okay.
Because you're basically revoking it in the first paragraph.
My mom is saying Nitya milna padega. Why, mom? I want to inherit everything. Nitya, does a recorded video suffice in absence of a registered will, as in the person is
unfortunately not for us.
Yeah, no.
Not for us. It's only for the army people.
Yeah, because we covered this. Apparently, only army people can verbally, hand over whatever they want to. It doesn't apply for civilian people. This is good. This is good, Nitya. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I'm going to pester you for some more fun legal topics for our viewers. Please do give us your feedback, you guys. Thank you so much
all for attending.
Yeah. And also, if there are any subjects you want for us to,
Someone said something about codicil. I just saw. Yes, a codicil is basically changing your last will. So if you want to make a minor change in your last will, you can make a codicil.
Okay. Great. Okay. Any more interesting subjects, please let us know. I'm more than happy to, get them on this forum. Please give us your feedback. Thank you so much, Nitya. It was very kind of you to take time out and come and share so much information. And
thanks for motivating me, Achal, because I was doing
love you, and I'll see you soon.
Office work.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.